Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Come waste your time.
I'm still trying to decide what I even want to do for the holidays this year. I uh I just don't know what I want to do. The last few years we've gone out of town to spend it with family, and this year I kind of don't want to travel. I'm kind of want to just chill at home. Do something small with just my household. Maybe, a couple friends or close family that I have around here, but nothing. I don't want to travel. I don't want to do anything big.
So, by close friends, you mean your high tier subs?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, all two of them.
That's amazing.
I don't know. I entertain the idea of trying to do an adult Christmas party. I've never really done. The one year we did Friendsgiving was awesome. I thought about maybe trying to do that again.
That was fun, yeah.
Because I have
the eggnog,
Yeah, I have more friends that could come to Friendsgiving now than when we originally had it. So Friendsgiving was a good time. I actually, when I made the toast, I teared up a little bit. I don't think any of you appreciated my emotion, but that's okay.
I said, That is
no.
that
I
is
meant
Travis,
on the day. I meant on the day.
I wasn't there. Way to go,
yeah.
John. Way to drop the ball.
You didn't know Travis. God damn it.
Scapegoat.
Bam, sorted.
I got super emotional, and was touching. I touched myself right in front of all of you.
You did. It was kind of awkward, actually, but yeah.
And it brought a tear to my eye, and everybody just
which made it more awkward,
Yeah.
No, I was there for that, and it was nice. It was a good time.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I would love to do that again. But I don't have a whole lot of room in my house. We might have to do it at your house, John.
I mean,
Ooh.
that would be the first holiday in my home.
Yeah, how long have you lived there now? And we haven't done any.
Just parties, no kind of holiday thing. Yeah.
I mean, unless you count birthdays, they're like personal holidays.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
parties.
Guess.
Yeah, we don't. I go do family stuff. So I never, I haven't done anything holiday wise around the house.
Like I actually find that I love this time of year. I know it's kind of cliche.
Oh, I don't care. I do too. I love this time of year.
Christmas I get into the Christmas spirit. I wouldn't say it's my favorite holiday. Halloween's probably still my favorite holiday, even though I don't really celebrate it anymore. I just still love that time of year. But I get into the whole Christmas spirit kind of like I love a nice snowy day, being inside, warm, bundled up. I love Christmas lights and decorations. I love the Christmas tree. Like there's something so calming about the Christmas season.
Yeah,
to me.
And my favorite part on top of all that is the Christmas music.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually do love Christmas music.
Love me some Christmas music.
I personally, when I put my playlist together, it's of like punk bands and metal bands and rap groups covering Christmas music.
Yeah.
I have a playlist that I play every year. But yeah, Christmas music is some of the most cheerful and emotionally deep music that you can come across.
Very true.
Yeah, I do love this time of year.
And to add on to that, I feel like Christmas is, well, in this day and age, is pretty much no longer a religious thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of like, hey, I made it through the year, and I still have a roof over my head. My bills are paid, and I had enough money to get presents.
Right.
I did something right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get into the whole camaraderie thing with it. I get even even to strangers. You know, I'm you guys know I hate people kind of guy. But during the holiday season, I actually step away from the Scroogeness of my personality and get a little more into the Pratchettness. Like I'm a little more caring, a little more giving. I love this time of year. I like being at home, especially like evening time, watching a Christmas movie with no light but the TV and the Christmas tree lighting the room. There's something about that ambience that I am so zen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then Netflix asks you if you're still there, and all you can hear is,
yeah. Exactly.
Because you got clap-ons for Christmas.
Right,
Those
exactly.
still exist.
Or it's, you know, you shaking the jug of eggnog. I don't even drink eggnog, and I've mentioned it twice. You know, just eggnog and Christmas, right? I guess.
I dig it. I like eggnog.
Oh yeah, me too. I it's something that I love, but I can't take a lot of because it's actually very rich. Like I can't. Sometimes like Dean's milk chug every year, which Dean's milk is my shit. I love Dean's milk chugs. True Moo chocolate whole milk is my shit. But every year they come out with eggnog, and I'll buy a great big quart of it with the intent on drinking it, but I'll get, you know, a third of the way through it and I'm like, man, this is rich. Can't do it.
No, it is rich.
I instantly have to poop because it's like nothing but cream, and not even, I wouldn't even consider it a type of milk. It's just going out of my butt. I might as well pour it in the toilet.
Right.
And
Except you want to taste it first, yeah.
Upon mentioning Dean's, Cat just broke my heart. She heard me mention it, and she walks over here with her phone to show me an article that she just found about Dean's declaring bankruptcy.
Oof.
I might lose my true move. God damn it. George Lucas is changing Star Wars again, and I'm losing my chocolate milk. This is terrible.
Damn it. Sad times for Joe.
It's like the worst day ever.
They'll be all right. It's because they introduced a new strawberry flavor, and it just tanked the company.
They're probably going to end up doing the same thing Hostess did. Like, say bye to Hostess, and then the very next day they were, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
That's just what companies do. You know how many times Lamborghini has filed for bankruptcy?
I wish they would stay gone. Lamborghinis are so ugly to me. I'm not a car guy anyway.
If I pulled up in a Lamborghini and said, come on, you and Cammy can take a ride in my Lambo, would you turn it down?
I mean, where are we going to fit? Lambos are only 2-seaters.
That's what I'm saying. I'm paying
I
you
get
keys.
to drive?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know if I could drive one of those things. Aren't they like super complicated? Like, I don't know if I could drive a sports car.
No, they're not really complicated. They just have a really touchy gas pedal.
Okay. Like I was going to say, I'd probably sit there for fucking 30 minutes just trying to figure out how to go.
Yeah. You just got to not have a lead foot and be really gentle on the gas pedal. Otherwise, yeah.
Use your big toe.
So apply the slightest pressure and also wear a neck brace.
Right.
Pull up in my Tesla and say, hey, I'm gonna punch in these coordinates. Have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if whatever material Cammy's going to be made out of would be able to withstand the G-forces that a Lambo can produce.
I mean, you've seen a human's face when he gets into G's that big, so I'm sure it would do the same thing.
Yeah, but with at least with the human face flesh, it'll bounce back because of it, the elasticity of it.
That is true. She will forever look like she saw an alien in space or something. Yeah. Well, she's kind of stuck like this. And then that's when you take the blow dryer to her face and you try and remold it, and then she just looks like Sloth from the Goonies. Like,
like guys, me and Cammy broke up.
She had to go, man.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I show up after a long absence. Me and Cammy broke up.
Her looks just went downhill, man.
She changed. She's not the same Cammy.
Oh, too good.
And I voided the warranty already.
I got tired of only 3 orifices and I made my own.
Have you ever fucked a butt cheek before?
No, but I have had mine penetrated.
How does this feel, Cammy?
You're gonna feel everything that I felt. Oh god.
She's gonna take you to court and they're gonna be like, now show us on the doll where he touched.
Doll on doll crime.
That'd be the most confusing fucking trial ever. The jury would just sit there looking like fucking Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. What?
They'd be all mannequins.
I see another skit coming on. Instead of 12 angry men, it's 12 angry sex dolls. Oh god.
I'd win the Oscar.
I'm putting the petition out now for people to sign. We're gonna need 12 voice actors, so hit us up.
I could do it all. I can do 12 different voices.
Okay, well, fuck everybody else. Joe's gonna do it all.
This is my story, damn it. Tell it right.
The opening scene to the crime has to be you with like nothing but like different furs, because like you're supposed to be this trapper, and you open up the door and it's like snowing or raining outside, and there Cammy is chained to this wooden like straw bed. Closes and then goes back to the courtroom.
Yeah, you're like this trap. Instead of like a big fur coat, it's like just big slivers of silicone, like draped over your shoulders.
It'd be the wigs of all of the wigs of all of the dolls I've fallen. Or I fell. That's the word.
Oh god. And then in the corner of the room, like you've got Cammy laying on the straw bed, and in the corner of the room is like the metal frame of another one that has been dead for like a couple months and rotted away. Just a puddle of melted silicone laying around a metal skeleton.
I mean, it sounds like a fucking horror movie.
We went from rape to, oh my god.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
House of 1,000 mannequins.
I'm gonna get Stephen King to ghostwrite it, and we'll just call it Mercy 2. Or Misery 2, rather.
Misery 2.
Misery 2.
Fucking breaker legs with a PC.
Yeah. Oh god. And it's a doll, so you could just figure the shit out of those legs and make them just look so completely unnatural.
Just tie him in a knot. You ain't getting away.
Up on top of her lap, like.
But if you get a voice box for Cammy, that's all she can say is the lines that come out of her for the whole movie.
Yes.
I'm gonna install a like super old one that has a drawstring. There's a snake in my boob.
Oh my god. Yep. Just Tom Hanks's voice coming out of Cammy.
oh. Oh god. Okay. I told you about the movie app that I called Tubi.
Movie app, you said?
Yeah. Well, it's a streaming app, a free streaming app. It's called Tubi.
like like Crackle.
Yeah, but better. I feel like I haven't used Crackle in years though, so I mean, the Crackle could be better than what I remember it to be. But Tubi is actually pretty good, and it's a huge selection of movies, not all of which are good, but it's quantity, not quality. And they have like thousands of horror, and sci-fi movies, and so on. Maybe one out of every 300, you're like, oh hey, that's awesome. But it gives you an incentive to dig through their library, I guess. But where was I going with this? There's Tom Hanks. There's a movie on there. It was Tom Hanks's first starring role in a movie and fourth acting project period in his career. It was called what was it?
Does it have to do, is he married and they move into a house that they're remodeling?
No. That was actually a good one. This is terrible, and it was made for TV in like 1980, and it was actually okay. Are you familiar with Reefer Madness?
Yes.
The propaganda movie that was smearing marijuana
back in the 70s. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Picture that, but for D&D.
Wow.
And it was called Mazes and Monsters. It was a propaganda movie about how bad D&D is. And Tom Hanks's character took the story way too seriously, and he started hallucinating in real life, and it caused him to kill himself.
Wow.
There, spoilers.
Right.
But this movie is fucking terrible. Like, I had to stop watching it partway through because me and the wife, you love Tom Hanks. He's a fucking national treasure. And I'm like, okay, young Tom Hanks was just as good as old Tom Hanks. Start watching it. It is garbage. It is complete and utter garbage.
Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but no, his acting was fine. It was the story. Like, it was almost, they were treating Dungeons and Dragons like it was Harry. Like, he completely changed when he started playing Dungeons and Dragons. Or Mazes and Monsters was what they called the game in the movie.
Right.
Mazes and Monsters?
That's hilarious.
Like, he completely changed and became another person. It was so terrible. Avoided at all costs. And I think it's probably one of the things that Tom Hanks definitely started leaving off of his resume, like, as soon as he got done making the movie. Like, it never even made it onto his resume. He doesn't want anybody to.
It's one of those movies.
Yeah,
Nice.
like Tom Cruise in the movie Legend, which is probably the only movie I've ever Tom Cruise in.
Which he doesn't want anything to do with. Yeah.
Yeah, he won't even admit that he was in.
Oof.
Yeah. But yeah, stay away from Mazes and Monsters.
A movie that I was very skeptical on and was like, you know what? Joe said it was okay, so I'm going to give it a try. The Man Who Killed Hitler.
You watched it?
Bigfoot. I sure did.
Did you like it?
Oh my god. It
Great
is
movie,
amazing.
right?
It's
Right?
awesome.
Like, completely grounded and believable the way they told the story.
Yeah.
You hear the name and you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? But then you actually watch the movie and it's like, you could totally believe that guy killed Hitler, shot the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was going to be one of those, like, oh god, what is that? What's the one with was it Ice-T, and he's a homeless guy and he's running away from the all the rich people because they just take hobos out and murder them. The Game, I think it was called.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, it was great. Anyways, I thought it was gonna be one of those like the whole thing was about that. He hunted Bigfoot for like what 10 minutes of the movie, and the
Yeah,
rest was just him telling his story him having flashbacks of World War II and how he
yeah,
killed Hitler.
yeah. How he was a part
Wow.
of Project Valkyrie, and yeah, like it was such a good movie, you know. And I love Sam Elliott, so yeah,
Oh, yeah, I forgot Sam Elliott was in that. Yeah.
yeah, it's good fucking indie movie, dude. You really got to check it out.
So
I'm surprised it wasn't in box office. That's how good it was.
Yeah, it was great.
So I guess peer pressure, huh? I'm gonna have to actually watch this movie now.
Yeah, I'm super happy that you checked that out, Travis.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give her the good old try. And yeah,
Yeah, I did the same thing. I passed it over many times. The name intrigued me, and finally, one Sunday afternoon, like screw it, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm so glad I did.
Alrighty then. Speaking of another movie you mentioned, it is available for me to watch, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. Scary Movies to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah, you need to watch it. I want to talk about it.
I feel like, is that based off of like a book or something from like the 80s or 90s maybe? Or in like
late 80s. I actually had there was scary stories to tell in the dark, and then more scary stories to tell in the dark, the sequel, and they did an even more scary stories to tell in the dark. Like there was like 4 books, I think.
Gotcha.
At least to my knowledge, but they're just a collection of short stories or poems that were all like scary stories, or
I think I remember
folklore.
reading it, and if I remember right, they were pretty scary as a kid.
Yeah, they were. Like I loved the books.
Yeah.
There was a few stories that I read that when I was a kid, after I got done reading them, I was like, oh, got a little chill.
So
like,
kind of like how ABC's of Death did their spiel.
Yeah, it's like an anthology type thing. But the movie they did different than because the book literally is just a collection of stories, But the movie, they actually
did they combine like a couple of them, or
it has basically this group of kids find a book that has the scary stories in it, and there's this ghost of a tortured soul who used to write these stories, and the urban legend is in the movie that if kids would come to her to hear the story, and then the kids would die. So yeah, that's kind of what they did with all the stories that you read in the books are stories that she's telling.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I think they brought to life 5 of the like really popular stories from the first 3 books, or 2 books, the first 2.
Right.
But they've left it open for a sequel, so there's, and you already knew there was going to, if this movie was successful, because there's so many stories in that book series that they could do. They didn't even touch on the best ones yet. They were just some of the more popular ones, not even necessarily the most popular ones. So like, I think
interesting. I remember the stories, reading that book when I was a kid, and I was like, oh god, that is pretty fucking scary, actually. Like,
I think we actually have 2 of the books still. 3 of them? Okay, yeah, we have 3 of the books still. Cat's off mic assistant. So she's over on the other side of the room feeding me. Yeah. So yeah, we have the first 3 books. It seems I could let you borrow them so you can refresh your memory on some of the stories that you're going to see in the movie. like all the stories in the books have like one little illustration page to, that basically captures the feel of the whole story, or if there's one main for the story. Like you see it in the trailer, the scarecrow Harold looks exactly like the illustration from the original book.
Right.
Or I think they called her the Woman in White. She looks exactly like the illustrator. Like, they did such a great job. I love Del Toro, and he knocked it out of the fucking park.
For sure. Yep, I might have to get on that.
I mean, while we're on the subject of horror, got to watch It Chapter 2.
Ooh, was it good?
Oh yeah, loved it.
See, everybody was dissing it. Not to cut you off here, but everybody was dissing it, and it's like, if you haven't seen the first chapter 2, then you're not going to understand why it was done in that fashion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to see the first. Do you mean the original 19 second half?
Yeah.
I don't think they took a lot more inspiration from the book than they did the original miniseries. Like, they added elements from the book that were never in the original series.
Well, I'm talking more like the kind of comedic relief that was in it.
Oh yeah, it definitely did have a different tone, I guess.
I had heard that too. Yeah, like there was a lot of comedy, and it just seemed out of place, kind of.
I wouldn't say out of place. I felt like the comedy was fine because this was a group of friends together again for the first time in 27 years. If you go back and watch the original, there was or not the original, but the first chapter. What was it? 2017.
The new one.
That one came out. Yeah. There's a lot of banter between the kids, a lot of funny moments, and the actors that they got to play the adult versions of the kids, perfect, and they captured that same camaraderie as the kids in the first chapter. So I felt like the comedy was actually completely natural, and it belonged there.
That's good.
Yeah, and it kind of cuts the tone. You got to have a little bit of comedy. Any movie, you can't just have straight horror. Like,
I like my straight horror though, but yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with comedy either, I guess. But so okay, so is the horror good horror then?
Oh yeah. The horror is fucking great.
The remake of the first one, the newer version of the first one, I guess, was incredible. It was one of the best horror movies I'd seen in a very long time. So
I'll say with chapter 2, you get a lot more Pennywise than you did in chapter 1, and it's so good. Like, Pennywise is so creepy in this one.
Okay.
I want to tell you about it, but I also don't experience it with it. Yeah. Because there's one scene in particular that it got cat, and I was just completely lost in the moment in that scene. And I maybe it's nostalgia because I loved the original It's something that I was going to be excited for regardless, with this new movie. So I might have a little bit of a biased opinion, but it's hard for me to get completely engrossed in a movie anymore. There's very few movies that I can be just in the moment, and this is one that just kept me in the moment.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, I love
that one too. Been waiting for that one to come out for a minute, so yeah,
and it's another one I'm not going to be able to talk too much about. Got to watch that. That's another one that got knocked out of the park. Like, they did an amazing job with it, and I can't wait till you guys see it so we can talk in depth.
Noise.
Yeah. We got to start going on bro dates to the movies to see this stuff together, so that way we can all talk about it at the same time.
Well, I know, right? We definitely do. It's been a minute since we've gone to see anything, actually. Me personally.
Not this theater around here. I ain't trying to get 8.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not Marion's Theater. If we're
Yeah,
going to see a movie, we're going out of the city. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, like we talked a little bit earlier today, John, about how we kind of feel like the box office is kind of going downhill. You know, like we might be seeing the end of the box office, at least being as big as what it is. Yeah. That's another thing. Like the whole bed bug epidemic is not isolated to our area. You know, like that's going on at many different theaters
nationally.
Yeah. So like people are scared to go to the movies because they don't want to get bed bugs. That is contributing to box office sales going down.
Oh yeah. It's movie theaters, I think, are probably bigger than any other sort of public place that I can think of, because it's a big gathering of people in one giant room with, you know, the chairs and like I would think going to a furniture store would be the same way. But yeah, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
burn my house down. And then the person's house that gave them to me. Yeah, like
I mean,
no.
Luckily the times that we have gone to we have been fortunate, but
yeah,
that's not going to be every time. I don't want the next time I go to the movie theater to be the time that I carry bed bugs home.
Right.
Because fuck a bunch of that.
Yes.
Fuck a bunch of bed bugs. If you have bed bugs, you need to get rid of shits, not spread them to other people. Be diligent. Watch out for bed bugs.
This would be a good time to announce that we are opening a drive-in movie theater, because those have become dead, but I feel like they would kill all movie theaters right now.
Yeah.
We seriously, we are?
We should.
Like we are, or
we should.
The town is. Oh, okay. I got a projector. We can totally do this.
I think that's a brilliant idea. God, it's been years since I've been to a drive-in, but like obviously, you know, indoor theaters killed those. But yeah, I think that would be the perfect remedy for indoor movie theaters.
Yeah.
Just open up a drive-in again.
Yeah, still a drive-in. It's over in Wabash, but it's still going.
Yeah, there's still a few of them around here actually that are there. You know, why can't you take a drive-in and put a giant awning over it? You know, in case it's raining, at least keep the rain off the screen and make it visible for the viewers if it's raining, because I feel like that had a lot to do with, you know, drive-ins. You're not going to go to the drive-in when it's raining because you're not going to be able to see the movie.
Well, for one, that awning would have to be like ridiculously high.
Yeah, it'd have to be high, and it'd have to be pretty big.
Yeah, it'd have to be taller. Like the ceiling would have to go above the screen.
Oh well, yeah.
And generally, drive-in movie screens they're bigger than your average movie theaters.
Yeah, they're huge. I mean, it takes up a lot more space too. I mean, maybe that's an argument too. But there's a lot of empty space. You know, countryside. You can easily put a drive-in. I mean, the town we live in used to have a drive-in way back in the day. Let's bring that shit back.
Yeah, like 30 years ago. I'd be about that actually, or making outside theaters a thing. You know, where you can go and like throw a blanket out on the lawn and lay back, or bring your lawn chairs, whatever. I mean, same basic idea as a drive-in, but a sit-in. You know.
Yeah, people do that. Now,
there's
like not all the time, but just for like on occasion.
Yeah, there's little pop-ups like cats taking the kids to movies where the city kind of puts that on, free show, free movie in the park, and then sell like some little simple concessions and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool, but it'd be kind of cool also to have a outside theater that's actually got like new licensed movies that are releasing.
Yeah, like the one in Wabash. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder how hard that would be to set up. That's a great idea. I would love to own a movie theater. Wow. Drive-in.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool. I owning a theater of any kind, I think, pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Get to watch all the free movies you want, and have all the awesome movie swag.
Yeah, right.
Like my house would be littered with movie standees and stuff, movie posters, and like think when I used to work at GameStop years ago, and one of the cool things about working at GameStop is a lot of that cool promotional art the employees are able to take home. And my house was covered in nothing but video stuff because I worked at fucking GameStop.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I love swag, and I love free swag.
Ain't nothing wrong with the free.
No, not even a little bit. All right. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by and wasting your time. Hit that subscribe button, like, share. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.
Peace.